Today I'm sharing brand new cardstock from scrapbook.com. This is a huge announcement of theirs. I'm going to be sharing all of the sample packs that you can get for $24.99 right now, and I'm not sure how long that is going to last. So let's get into this. Okay, so here is this fun cardstock. I am so excited about this. These are the sample packs. This is the Swiss Dot cardstock. And oh my gosh, so this little page here shows you all the colors that are in the sample pack. Like I mentioned, all of these packs together are $24.99. Again, I'm not sure if that's a permanent price or if that's just for now, but I do have everything listed and linked for you guys below. But look at all of those polka dots, and I love a good polka dot. So I'm just going to show you just briefly all of the colors in here. I just love, I love all these colors, and all the names are fun. None of these colors seem to overlap. Now, don't hold me to that. There might be one color named the same in another, but most of them, if not all, are completely different covers. This is the heavyweight cardstock, so it's a bit thicker, which is really fantastic. And you have all of these great colors on here. So let's take a look at these. I love colors that have at least two in a family, so that way when you're doing die cuts or whatever, you can have like a darker, a lighter. Sometimes some of these even would have a medium color. I think that's really fantastic. So I'm super excited about that with all of the colors here. You have grays, blacks, browns, pinks, purples, yellows, oranges, all kinds of colors. Let's take a look at the classic cardstock. This one has the most colors. I think this is one that you're probably going to absolutely use the most, and there's just fantastic colors in here. So let's go through these, and I've made 3 projects for you, sharing all of these sample cardstock packs. So you get one of each color and each pack. There's a craft color cardstock in here, which I'm super excited about. Of course, all the aquamarines. Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. I'm talking too fast. Okay, and then here we have our glimmer cardstock. So this has some shine to it, you guys. That is really exciting. I love this. Look at that gorgeous shimmer and shine on this. And again, of course, fabulous colors in this pack as well. I think it was in the classic pack that has the most soft yellow that I'm so excited about. It's beautiful. Okay, and then the last one, this is the canvas cardstock. One side has texture and the other side is more smooth, so you could use it either way, but I love the texture in this. I think this is really fantastic for floral die cuts. It's just going to give you that little extra texture. Ink blending on it will be fun, and so yeah, it's just got some really fantastic colors. So I'm just going to show you those, and then we are going to get going on the 3 projects that I have for you. But look at all of these gorgeous colors in here. Oh my gosh, and some of these browns in these packs are just so yummy, and the names are so fun. Okay, let's start with this butterfly card. In the Swiss Dot paper, I am using lavender and blue clematis. And then the glimmer, which is I'm using on these flowers here. So the butterfly is the lavender Swiss Dot. The flowers are the glimmer polar bear. And I am using the Flutter die from scrapbook.com. Everything that I'm using, you can get at scrapbook.com. I do have everything listed and linked for you guys below. Scrapbook.com just released or just did their 200th live today and releasing this cardstock release. But I do want to say that they are going to be selling, to my understanding, which is what it looks like, all my links, the 12 by 12 sized cardstock in individual pieces. So you can go and pick individual colors in all these collections, which I think is really fantastic. And I am so going to be getting tons of these colors. I will eventually get all of them in my collection because I really do love all of them. They are so, so pretty. I would definitely get the classic collection, and then for sure, I mean, I like the heavyweight, don't get me wrong. So if you like a really thick cardstock, go with the heavier weight too. But the classic has a lot of colors, and then throw in some glimmer, throw in some of the Swiss dot, get a few of the canvas, and kind of build your collection that way, and you will have a ton of wonderful cardstocks. So there's our first butterfly. I also, oh, you know what I did not write down? I am so sorry. The darker color of the, oh no, that's not true. I will tell you in a second. Sorry, guys. I was getting myself confused. This little outside layer for the Flutter die, this is the amethyst. I believe it's the amethyst jewel glimmer cardstock. So it has a little bit of shine. It's a little bit darker than that lavender Swiss dot. And so I thought that'd be fun to use a couple of those on here. So I'm just going to get those glued together. And I do want this inner butterfly popped up a little bit. So I'm going to be using some 1mm foam adhesive. I'm going to add that to the back here, and then we can pop this up, and then we're going to create a second butterfly. So this one is the lavender. The second butterfly is going to be the blue clematis of the butterfly, or excuse me, of the Swiss dot cardstock. The glimmer is amethyst jewel, sapphire sparkle, polar bear, sun glow, and willow green. Aren't those names so fun? Oh my gosh, I just love them so much. And then for their bodies, I just used mixed media black cardstock. And then for the white bases there, I used mixed media white cardstock. So here is the sapphire sparkle of the glimmer cardstock here, and I will show you up close when I'm done putting this together. And then here is that gorgeous Swiss dot. I have to say, when I saw this, when scrapbook.com, Cody from scrapbook.com sent this to me, and I saw the Swiss dots, I about died because I just love it so much. I think it is such an amazing addition to cardstock to have dots. It just is so much fun to me. This is the willow green of the glimmer cardstock. I'm going to place this down here. We're going to use polar bear, which is of course kind of a white, for the flowers. And then we have sun glow, which is the yellow. And it's just so pretty to have a little bit of shine, a little bit of texture with the Swiss dot, of course the shine with the glimmer. And it's not like a glitter on the cardstock as you saw, it's like it's in the paper. So nothing is going to rub off, nothing is going to come off. It's just beautiful that way. So let's get our little flowers here put together. There we go. I'm going to add a couple little flowers to the bottom of the butterfly. I kept wanting to call it a snowflake, and that would be incorrect. Oh my goodness. Cute. And then some centers with that sun glow. Now for this card, I just used the Quilted Daisies 3D embossing folder for the background. I die cut that, or I embossed that from Neenah cardstock, I believe. So it's a little bit thinner than their white mixed media. And the sentiment is from the Heart stamp and coordinating die. That was Laura Graff's from her SBC Fest kit just this past March 13th, 2026. And it says, happy birthday. I placed this on an A2 size card base from scrapbook.com nonetheless. And I'm going to pop that up. And then we have our first little card done here using the Swiss dot and the glimmer cardstock. Okay, now we're going to create this darling little beach scene. I'm using glimmer cardstock and canvas cardstock here. So for the crab, I'm using canvas cardstock that is in red cherry and firecracker, which are really fun red cardstocks. I thought this was a great way to show these off, just doing a completely different design. I am using the Coastal Charm dies, which is where this darling little crab is from. I'm also going to be using the Coastal Borders die and the Hooked on You stamp and coordinating die. And then I'm using white and black mixed media cardstock. How cute is he? Oh my goodness. Look at those two reds. And now I'm using the canvas cardstock, which is going to give us texture. So you have this rough little texture on the cardstock. It's going to give you detail. It's going to give you a little something more interesting than just a smooth cardstock. Again, not that there's anything wrong with a smooth cardstock, but to have some texture on your die cuts is really a lot of fun. So I thought it was great on the crab here. And I'm going to be using the Glimmer cardstock for the little beach scene that we're going to create. One of my favorite colors is the Glimmer Sandpaper cardstock, which is that tan right there. Then I have Tropical Surf, Tropical Bay, and Polar Bear. I'm using the Coastal Borders die to die cut everything out. And I just trimmed down the Glimmer Sandpaper cardstock. So it was just a smaller piece that's going to fit centered in my white card base. So a little bit of foam adhesive here to pop up my waves. And then we have the fun little foam that is die cut from the Glimmer Polar Bear cardstock. And of course I had to use these Tropical Surf and Tropical Bay, these fun aquamarine type colors for the ocean, because that's just my favorite color. So I'm going to adhere these down, and then I can trim that down, and that will fit on our sandpaper little background there. How cute is that? And again, all of this cardstock, with the exception of the crab, is the Glimmer. So it's all going to have a nice little shine. And again, I'll show you this at the end of the video so you can really see how everything looks. It's so pretty. I used the Polka Dot 3D embossing folder from scrapbook.com for my background. Just keeping it simple with the white background, just letting the other cardstock kind of be the show, because that's what this is all about. My sentiment is from the Hooked on You stamp set, and I use the coordinating die to die cut that out. And then this will be adhered to a white A2 size card base as well. Let's get this cute little crab in place. Oh my gosh, he is darling. And then I have some of the little dots left from the little foam die of the water, and that's in that Polar Bear cardstock, and I'm using it as little bubbles. Okay, so for the last card, I am using Java from the Heavyweight cardstock in the Whimsical Wood Grain embossing folder from scrapbook.com. And I'm going to do some ink blending. I thought it'd be great to show some ink blending on the cardstock to really see how well that does. This is going to be our little table. We're going to create this, use a banana split die. I am using Scorched Timber. And I'm just going to give that a little bit of an ink blend. And then I'm also using the Ethereal embossing folder for the white background. So here is this gorgeous yellow, you guys. So this is from the classic cardstock. This is just the yellow classic. It's such a soft, gorgeous, like buttery yellow. It's perfect for these bananas. I'm using scattered straw to just add a little bit of color, a little bit of ink blending. So for the heavyweight, I'm using Java, Tropical Sea for the bowl here, and Kelly Green for the stems of the cherries. I think I've got cherries, yeah. I'm using a little bit of Uncharted Mariner here to darken this up. And then the classic, I'm using Berry, Chocolate, Hot Fudge, Vanilla, Yellow, and Ladybug. Aren't they cute names? And yummy names? Oh my gosh, I love it. So let me just clean off my work surface there, and we can bring in our ice cream. So the pink is berry, the chocolate is the brown, and then we have... Oh, and maybe I didn't write it down. Now I can't think of what the orange one is. I am so sorry. But it's out of the classic cardstock. And I'm just going to do a little bit of ink blending on these. Scorched Timber on the chocolate here. And then I'm going to use Hot Fudge to die cut our chocolate. This little piece right here. Oh my gosh, how cute is that? And then I have vanilla for the other two colors. So let me just grab a little bit of antique linen just to add a tiny bit of something. I'm not trying to add too much, but it just needed a little something. So there's the vanilla. I have 2 of those for my ice cream. Let's bring in our pieces. Again, that background piece is die cut from mixed media cardstock. It's a little bit thicker, so it really kind of has some nice weight to it. And the same with the whipped cream. And then let's put this together. So I'm going to pop this up with a little bit of 1mm foam adhesive. So let me get this in place here, and look at the ink blending on it. It ink blended fantastically. So I don't think there's any problem with ink blending these at all. Again, I'm using the heavyweight and the classic. I need to be able to slide my banana down just a little bit. So I need to add a little bit of foam adhesive. I'm deciding how that's going to look. So let me just add a few little 1mm pieces back here, and then I can tuck this into my bowl. Let me pull off that release paper. I think I needed to remove that whole little section there, lifting that up and tucking it down. And then we're going to be good. I don't know about you guys, but I feel like I've always struggled to find the perfect soft yellow. There's a lot of gorgeous yellows out there, but this one is so soft and light. It's such a perfect pastel yellow. I am so excited about this. I think I need to get like a lot of those in my stash. So my plan is to get like the 12 by 12 papers and cut them down. I will have some scraps, but then I can get 4 A2 size card bases and then have some scraps left over also for die cutting. So that's kind of my plan, to get multiples of one color. I also think it's fantastic to get the sample packs. Again, for all 5 of these sample packs right now, it's $24.99. That is a smoking deal, and I would jump on that, because then you're really going to know what colors you love and want. I think that's really fantastic. Let's get our ice cream up here. How cute. Oh my gosh. We got some strawberry, some orange sherbet, some chocolate. That's just, or raspberry. I think it would be raspberry, because I think raspberry ice cream's super yummy with chocolate especially. Okay, I'm going to place that down. And then we've got our ice cream here, our last little chocolate ice cream. I'm trying to make sure I'm lining it up with the shadow piece, which you don't have to use that white shadow piece on this die. Let me put that little 1mm there. And then we have little cherries. We have little chocolate pieces, sprinkles, I mean. So here's our little cherry stems. Those are Kelly Green of the heavyweight cardstock. And our darling little cherries here that are Ladybug cardstock from the classic. And then let's glue those. And then I have a little flag that is die cut from the Tropical Sea heavyweight cardstock, sorry. And then we will put that together. That's going to go back there. And then we have our little sprinkles. That's just a die that came, and I am using the chocolate cardstock for this, and I'm just going to put those in a few places here. And then we have this darling little chocolate sundae, ink blended. All the cardstock is such fun, bright, vibrant colors. I think this is so pretty. So let's just get a few more of those. I just dotted all the backgrounds with some liquid glue. And then I could just easily use my Pick Pro tool and just pop these guys right into place. So let's finish up this card, and then we can take a look at all 3. This is the Ethereal 3D embossing folder. I am adding that Java color from the heavyweight cardstock that we ran through the wood grain die cut with. the Whimsical wood grain. And the sentiment is from the Sugar Rush stamp and coordinating dies, which is so perfect. Let's add some foam adhesive. So that wood grain, we're just making a little wood grain table, keeping it simple. It says, hope your birthday is sweet with sugar on top. Isn't that a fun sentiment? Some of these products might still be in the coming soon section, but you can hit the notify me button and they will let you know when they are coming into stock. Some of them might be released now. I made these cards a couple weeks ago, so a lot of things change in 2 weeks. So hope your birthday is sweet, cute. And I stamped that sweet with picked raspberry Distress Oxide ink. And then there is our cute little flag. I'm going to trim it down just a little bit shorter, and then we can tuck that in there. Oh my gosh, how cute. Actually, I needed to double up that foam adhesive. Okay, let's take a look at these, you guys. Okay, so we have this butterfly one. This is the Swiss Dot and Glimmer cardstocks. I am so sorry it's blurry. I'm not sure what my camera was doing, but it wanted to stay blurry. It just was not focusing. But so beautiful. Then we have the little crab card where we used Glimmer and Canvas cardstock for a shine and some texture. And then we used Heavyweight and Classic on this card here that we did some ink blending, and it really ink blended well. And I have to give all this cardstock a huge thumbs up, and I definitely think you guys should grab some. So thank you so much for stopping by and watching. I hope that you enjoyed these projects. I hope you feel inspired. If you like what you've seen, please subscribe to my channel, and I'll be back soon with another video. Bye.